can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh, Lord. Yes, Lord, can you guys feel it coming in the air today? I would like to welcome y'all to the 13th episode of StormWatch. Yes, Lord, I can feel his presence. I can feel the presence of the good Lord, Jesus Christ. This Sunday and next Sunday, we will be celebrating the good Lord. So, in honor of him, we brought out La Biblioteca. Well, wait, the Bible. Whatever the fuck it is. We brought out the Bible. We brought out the Thruple Bunnies. We brought out the nice goddamn Phil Collins looking outfit. Even though it's 13 going on a 30. Yes, can you feel it? Can you feel 13 going on a 30? Can you feel the voice of the Lord? Can you feel the presence of God with you on this fine day? Yes, Lord. I am your host, Tyler Storm, and motherfuck, we got Palm Sunday this week, Easter next Sunday. We got a lot to celebrate and a lot of good Christian values that we can bring to the world, especially out of here in Brevard. I think Christian values are the thing that we cherish and exemplify truly to the highest degree. I think if you look at every member of Brevard County, we are a high caliber, salt of the earth, child of Abraham. We litter the stars, Lord. Yes, like grains of sand on the earth. But in all fairness, we truly do. I think Brevard County people really are the best. And in honor of that, in honor of the Bible, in honor of Palm Sunday, and in honor of Jesus, I would like to introduce to you guys the Thruple Bunnies, an unconventional love. Something that we normally don't see every day. Not only do we get to see 3 rabbits in a relationship, but we get to see just, a thruple is always a magical thing to bear witness to. Have you guys ever watched Professor Marston and the Wonder Woman? Beautiful movie. Fantastic movie. Thruple bunnies, baby. And they're expecting. I think that's one of the most beautiful things. Just like Jesus rose again from the ground, these rabbits will rise again in plenty. Oh yes, they are expecting a litter or a nest very soon. And well, I guess I should really tell you all about them, introduce them. This is Roger Rabbit, Jessica Rabbit, and Lopunny Bunny. The Lopunny Bunny was obviously not a part of the group at first because Roger and Jessica Rabbit are a old couple. If you guys haven't seen them before, they are an old couple. You should go and check out some of their cartoons. But I guess let's start at the beginning. One day, little bunny Roger and little bunny Jessica were hopping through the forest, and then they found their way into Fawn Lake in Mims. And they started hopping through the neighborhood thinking, what a beautiful area. And they wound up in somebody's yard. But unbeknownst to them, until they saw him leaving the driveway, did they know it was Wayne Ivy's yard. And Roger looked at Jessica and said, hey, wait, isn't that fat prick that's always worried about speeders but can't stop any of the other crimes that are going on in the area? And wasn't he listed in the Epstein files, Jessica Rabbit said? And they looked at each other and they're like, I can feel it coming in the air tonight, but I'd rather feel it coming on his yard today. So they did what any good rabbit couple would do, and they started fucking in the front yard. I'm talking like that high speed, just, you know what I mean? Just that rapid pace, set some shit on fire type of fucking. You've all been there. We've all fucked like that before. That I gotta set this pussy on fire fucking. And then he just nutted all over the fucking front yard. That was their goal, was to nut on every part of the yard in order to get back at him. So Roger and Jessica, they fucked in the front yard, they fucked on the front porch, they fucked on the driveway, they fucked on the side of the house. And then right as they were making their way to the back of the house, they saw this beautiful busty bunny from across the yard, out in the backyard along the fence line. And Roger looked at Jessica and said, God damn, do you see the tits on that bunny over there? And Jessica's like, I fucking know, you see her tail? And so they looked at each other, and all they did was give each other a, and they started hopping on over to her. They hopped on up to her and they said, hi, we'd like to introduce ourselves. My name is Roger. This is my wife, Jessica. And what's your name? And she said, my name is Lopunny Bunny. I don't know why she gets the voice in all of this, but she does. What brings you guys here? And Roger's like, well, that fat cocksucker here, we got tired of seeing his face, and so we decided to come all over his yard just to get back at him because we're the neighborhood rabbits, and we can't stand to see pigs ruining the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Animal Farm, baby. I understand some animals are more equal than others, but I don't feel they're more equal than we are. And Lil Punny's like, well, that's an interesting point. I was just wandering through because I was hungry. And then Jessica's like, you know what? We're done beating around the bush, or I guess around the alfalfa as the rabbits eat. And she said, look, we find you beautiful. We normally don't do this, and I'm normally not this forward. My husband didn't want to come out right and say it, but we think you're beautiful, and we'd love to take you back to our nest later and fuck the ever-living shit out of you. We would love to beat that little rabbit pussy. And Lil Punny she giggled. She giggled, of course, because what else are you going to do in a situation like that when a couple approaches you, a hot couple that approaches you and says, hey, do you want to join us later in our deep little hole? And she's like, well, I don't know. I've never done that. And so Jessica says, well, have you ever been with a woman? And Lil Punny's like, yeah, that's not the issue. It's just, I've never been with a couple before. I've never been in a threesome before. You know, I've gone both ways. It's not the issue. And Roger was just like, I mean, we haven't either, but you seem like the perfect fit, little Lil Punny bunny. And she's like, what? So after a minute of just talking, nervous banter back and forth, the rabbits leave their number with Lil Punny bunny. And the very next week, they're going back, hopping through the bunny trail. They go over to Wayne Ivy's yard. And they start fucking in the driveway again. And then immediately, as they start fucking, they get a call from Lil Punny bunny. Lo and behold, Lil Punny bunny. And she says, hey, I've really thought about it. I want to do it. I want to sleep with the two of you. I want to fuck the rabbit shit out of the two of you. And so later that evening, they go back to their little dugout and they have violent, crazy, passionate rabbit sex. And it was beautiful. And they've been together ever fucking since, and now they're expecting a litter. Both Jessica Rabbit and Lil Punny bunny are pregnant. And it's beautiful because if you've watched Professor Marston and the Wonder Woman, so long as you can keep your women getting along, life will be a breeze. But you more just have to deal with the looks society gives you. And I think at the end of the day, if there's one thing the Bible teaches us, if Jesus teaches us anything, if the Thruple Bunnies can teach us anything, is that we should let love live and live love. Do you know what I mean? We should embrace the Lord and feel it coming in the air tonight. You know, love comes in all different ways and shapes and forms and all different mannerisms. And I think that one of the ways that it comes is not just in the form of Jesus resurrecting and saving himself or saving us from our sins, and not just the thruples here, but Palm Bay police provide summary of events after woman found dead during standoff with SWAT team. Love comes in the form of your neighborhood SWAT team killing your community members. I'm not saying that this is the right way of love, but it is a form of love. We love our community. Brevard County people are the best ways. I mean, in many ways, truly just the best people on earth. Grains of salt. Grains of salt. We create a mound. We create a salt lick. Us people here in Brevard. We are the Christian goodies. You know what I mean? Like, female identified as 53-year-old Kamala Grimmer. Wait, didn't she run for off? Oh, Kamala Grimmer, not Kamala Harris. Sorry. Palm Bay police addressed the death investigation that began on Monday when a woman allegedly shot at officers when they responded to a complaint about loud music. You know what? Fuck it. You try interrupting my music while I'm in the middle of a workout or anything going on, I will bust a cap in your bitch ass. Are you fucking with me? Below is a summary by the Palm Bay police. I'm excited for this. It is important to note that this is still an active investigation. Information provided is a summarized version of events based off of preliminary investigation. So in other words, we don't entirely know shit. We just got a few of the things here, and we gonna give to you what we got. Okay. On March 23rd, 2026, around 2:58 p.m., our communications center received an anonymous phone call referenced loud music in the 800 block of Serenade Street Northwest at 3:40 p.m. We received another anonymous call again regarding loud music. Oh, yay. Oh, wait, hold on. That was a sentence. At 3:40, we received... Fuck me. While our officers responding to the area at approximately 3:58 p.m., we received a separate call advising a female fired off multiple rounds from her residence, located at 859 Serenade Street Northwest. Wow, they're just putting these people's addresses out there, left, right, and center. Can you actually legally do that? I understand this is part of the police investigation, but are you legally allowed to just give out people's addresses like that? Because if there's anything I learned from the Thruple Bunnies, Wayne Ivy's just up the road from me. Can I legally give out that information? They can legally give out the information of their citizens that they arrest. Can we give out the information of the officers and where they live? That's a good question. This is something we should be asking ourselves. Thruple Bunnies. I caught a little punny, Batman. I caught a little punny. No, Joker. No. Roger, what are you gonna do to the little punny? I'm gonna fuck the little punny, Batman. And Jessica Rabbit's in the corner dressed like a fucking Batman. No, what are you gonna... And then, everything that I am, praise the Lord. And then he dives right the fuck in. In the name of Jesus. The female has been identified as 53-year-old Kamala Grimmer. As officers arrived on the scene, they quickly... Holy fuck, I'm not going to read all this shit. Holy shit, this is literally play by play. They tried getting in contact with her over the phone. She said that there was attempts to get her out peacefully. And then all of a sudden, at 4:43, she opened the front door to the residence, fired shots, and quickly retreated into the residence. Our SWAT and crisis negotiations team were activated. What the fuck? Activated like a fucking homing beacon? And then you just see ICE agents parachuted. Up to this point, our officers did not return fire. Our officers were again able to establish phone contact with her in hopes for a peaceful resolution. Clearly, you failed. You failed. She's shooting at you. What is this peaceful resolution you're going for? You are horrible at these negotiations. This is like South Park negotiations. Well, okay. If you give us one of the cows, we'll give you an airplane that will fly you and the cattle out of here. This is a real episode, by the way. I'm not making this bullshit up. That is a real episode I'm quoting. Around 5:13, members of the SWAT and crisis negotiation began to arrive on scene. 6:06, Kamala stood concealed in the doorway at the residence. 6:53, more gas was deployed into the residence. Oh, they fucking gassed her. Hold up. Here we go. She opened fire towards our SWAT team, who returned fire. She immediately retreated into the residence and was not immediately clear if she was injured. Around 6:15, our SWAT team gassed the residence. So, she might be Jewish. I don't know if there's anything in here that says that she's Jewish, but Kamala Grimmer, you got gassed out. So you're either a Jew or you're a cockroach or you're, I guess, just some really sad Brevard woman. Just some really, really sad Brevard woman. You exemplify good Christian behavior. I think that's a beautiful thing. I think shooting at the SWAT team is good Christian behavior. I think that going out of your way to have full turf wars with Brevard County SWAT is how you should spend your days. Especially as we're getting closer to the time of Jesus. Don't you guys know it's Revelation? Come on, don't you read the good fucking book? Everyone says it's coming. Come on now. There's no substantial history that have led to investigators. So in other words, you have no clue why this happened. You don't know why anything other than we pray for the best outcome and we're thankful that nobody died. You know what? I'm glad nobody died too. That's good Christian behavior, SWAT team. You should not be shooting your citizens. If there's anything that we have learned from the last several months, it is that, one, somehow shooting at officers is going to get you not shot, but driving into one is going to get you shot depending on where you're at, i.e. Minneapolis. And good Christian behavior comes in all shapes and sizes, and it comes in many different types of bullets. That's love. That's Christianity. That 20 cents that Judas got, he converted those into bullets. It was originally supposed to be for werewolves, but he heard the Rothschilds were vampires, so he saved those. The Catholics don't like them. Good Christian behavior. It's all around. It is among us. We live it. West Melbourne police arrested Renee Florence after she fired a handgun through a motel room window. Renee Florence is still alive, but Renee Good is dead. Isn't that sad? Police charged Renee Florence, 41, who fired 2 rounds in the room with false imprisonment, child abuse, domestic violence battery, discharging a firearm in public, and possession of methamphetamine. Why is it always meth? Every week it's meth. We have so much fucking meth in this town. We have so much meth in this county, it's actually impressive. I can't express to you how impressive it is to be in a town with that was at like 25 to 30,000 people is now like 40 to 50,000 people. We've like grossly overmaxed ourselves, and we've grossly overmaxed our methamphetamine limits. Guys, I'm a pothead. I'm a fucking stoner left, right, and center. If I really wanted to, I could smoke an ounce in a day. I don't think I could even do like 1 hit of methamphetamines, and you guys are bringing this shit in by the pound, and you're snorting it by the gram. I really don't understand. I just started watching Breaking Bad again, and this doesn't actually like help anything, because now I'm watching Junkies and Breaking Bad, and now I've been reading about Junkies and Brevard, and now I'm reading about more Junkies and Brevard. God damn, man. Thank you. You know what, Wayne Ivey? Thank you. We can stop all the speeders for left, right, and center, but we can't fucking prevent the methamphetamines from coming into this town. God damn it, man. Son of a fucking bitch. Holy shit. You know what? I know I'm cussing a lot, but the other week, or the other month, they were bragging about how it's like Breaking Bad on steroids, the fucking meth drop that they found. That's like 1 out of 1,000 that comes into this county. This is, oh my God, man. She was transported to the Brevard County Jail, and she's being held on a no bond status. Thank God. Wait a minute. Child abuse? Was there a child involved in all of this? Jesus. A quiet stretch of West New Haven Avenue turned chaotic Tuesday morning when a reported burst of gunfire at the roadside motel led to a tense standoff. The arrest of a Brevard mother and the rescue of a juvenile girl from the inside of the room. God damn, I said use the baby as a shield, but I wasn't being serious. Mother knows best, but mother's gonna get baby shot. Mother knows best, mother's gonna get baby fucking capped. Are you kidding me? Rapunzel's about to get whacked, bitch. Golly. According to the West Melbourne Police Department, officers were dispatched at approximately 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday, March 17th. God damn! 9:30 a.m.? 9:30 a.m. and you're getting into a standoff with the fucking Melbourne police. Do you realize you haven't even had your cup of coffee in the morning? I understand you had your morning bump of meth. You had your morning meth, but Jesus Christ, woman, you aren't even giving these guys a chance to get in and have their first donut. How are you going to sit here and stress the cops after your morning meth, but they can't have their fucking coffee and donut in the morning? I'm going to stand up for the cops on this one. I say that we need to give more cops donuts and less citizens meth. Would you rather have gacked out citizens or fat cops? I'd rather have neither. But if I had the choice, we've already got Wayne Ivey, so we're choosing the fat cops route. It's all we got to do is try helping these people sober up. I'm just saying. To America's Best Value Inn after multiple callers reported hearing... Hold on. I'm going to start that again because I'm not going to read that in the middle of the fucking paragraph. That's psychotic. Just like this woman on meth. According to the West Melbourne Police Department, officers were dispatched at approximately 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday, March 17th to the America Best Value Inn after multiple callers reported hearing shots fired. Snitches. When officers arrived, they quickly determined the gunfire had come from the second floor motel room. Goddamn right. Nobody ever has the decency to be on the first floor whenever they're going into shootouts or shooting at anybody. Okay. And what I mean by that is, and I know you guys are going to look at me like I'm crazy, but if you're on the first floor or the ground and you shoot into the ground, you don't hit anybody. You shoot up, you might hit somebody. You shoot to the side, you might hit somebody. But the second you go any floors up, second floor, third floor, you shoot down, you risk hitting more people. That adds at least 2 more rows or 1 more to 2 more housing rooms that you can shoot into and kill these people at. if you guys are going to get into shootouts, can you please have the decency to do it on the first floor? I'm not trying to like tell you how to do your business. I'm not trying to tell you how to get in your shootouts. Go on the roof. Actually, go on the roof, because at that point you can't shoot up and around at anybody. All you can do is aim down, and even then you can't really shoot through the ceiling that well, depending on what you got. So my thing is, go on the roof and get into a sniper shootout with the cops if you have the balls, or stay on the first floor and stop inconveniencing everybody. For the love of God, man, that's just... Inside, police say was 34-year-old Renee Florence, not Renee Good, and her juvenile daughter. Investigators allege Florence fired a handgun at least twice through the motel room windows, shattering glass and sending debris outwards. Witnesses described a frantic scene with guests taking cover and staff attempting to account for occupants as law enforcement flooded the property. Yay! As officers established a perimeter, the situation escalated into a standoff. 2 standoffs! One standoff! 2 standoff! This is in the last 10 days in Brevard County. Salt of the earth, pillars of the community, good Christian people. We believe in Jesus, the Messiah! Hold on, there's a lot of Christian songs. I went to Park Avenue Christian Academy around here, in case any of you fuckers didn't know. A lot of kids around here went. A lot of them became drug addicts as well, and whores and OnlyFans girls and fucking piece of shit drug dealers. I should know, I was one of them, and so were some of my best friends. And let me tell you what, some of that music really is just god-awful. Our God is an awesome God, he reigns from heaven above with wisdom. And it's always with these weird, like, sign language, like they're trying to hypnotize you. It's like fucking, they're doing this shit on stage, just the finger wriggle and all that stuff. And it's love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Anyone who went to Park Avenue, if any of you ever watch this, please comment below on some of the songs that we can bring into this, because they're probably not going to want me back on that property if they ever look into who I am. Please, I would love to feel the presence of the Lord. And I can only feel the presence of the Lord when I hear the same 3 keys on repeat with the same verse over and over again for 3 minutes straight. Good Christian music. Good Lord. Yes. Oh my goodness, man. There is. As Florence, they established a perimeter. All right, here we go. Police say Florence refused repeated commands to exit and prevented her daughter from leaving the room. Okay, well, mother knows best. All you are is crisis management. You really aren't shit. What do you actually know? Sincerely. Bigots. Crisis negotiators with the Brevard County Sheriff's Office were called in along with West Melbourne SWAT team as authorities worked to de-escalate the situation. They couldn't de-escalate the one woman! They said it was a peaceful negotiation, and then all of a sudden she's fucking shooting at them. Then they tried negotiating again, and she started shooting at them. Guys, I'm not saying that we're hiring poorly, but what I'm saying is this is 2 situations I've read about the Brevard County SWAT negotiator and sheriff negotiators that are failing. What? You couldn't get this bitch to come out of a motel room, and then you couldn't get the other bitch to come out of a motel room. I can't. What? Did any of you ever watch that movie, The Negotiator, with Samuel L. Jackson? Fucking phenomenal movie. One of actually his best roles, and I do mean that so sincerely. Ordell Roby, The Negotiator. Loved it when he played Snowball in Django. Motherfucking. But that's not the point. The Negotiator, and the villain is Kevin Spacey, by the way. So if you like Kevin Spacey, in spite of the fact that he was like raping people, I mean, whatever, dude. Come on. You rape some people sometimes. You're on the Epstein list sometimes. Sometimes you're an award-winning actor that just can't keep their dick in their pants. I mean, who are we to judge as good Christians? Jesus ate with sinners and did not judge them. How are you going to pluck a grain of sand from your neighbor's eye when you have a plank in your own? How are we going to judge Kevin Spacey for being on the Epstein list and partying with Bill Clinton and Jeff? How? He was in photos with fucking Ghislaine and Chris Tucker. What does that matter? He's a good actor. And I gotta say, he played a great villain because obviously he's a real life villain. He's fucking eating and raping people. That's like, you can be a good villain if that's what your daily activities are. I mean, doesn't Jared Leto lead a cult? It's like, you do good at what you do in real life. Like, great example. Johnny Depp was great at fucking Jack Sparrow because he's already an alcoholic bore. There was no sidestep. I don't even know if he auditioned. I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty sure the legend goes, he just showed up. He was on his way to a costume contest and he entered the wrong building. And then we got Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. So you you act best what you live. You get what I mean? Like here, hold on. There's another example I'm looking for. It's a really good one. Kang the Conqueror. What's his name? Oh, I can't remember his name. Motherfucker who played Kang the Conqueror beat his wife or something like that. You're a great villain if you beat your woman. Do you know how good of a villain you will be if you just slap your woman one time? Actors Guild, Film Actors Guild, FAG, I need you to hear me out. I don't think you should go and beat your partner, man or woman. You shouldn't assault. We should just keep our hands off each other. I hope y'all get that reference. Let's just keep our hands off each other. But hear me out. Let's say you got a role coming up as an Irish cop. Do you not think that it is in your best interest to go and drink a half a bottle of whiskey, 6 pints of Guinness, and then slap your woman around? What do you think Mark Wahlberg did for all his roles? Come on now. This all started with The Negotiator. By the way, Samuel L. Jackson, The Negotiator, great film. During the standoff, officers observed that they described a physical aggression toward the child. Yes, beat the child. Use the child as a shield. Yes. The innocence of a child is a beautiful thing because it's something that you can help grow. It's something you can teach. It's something you can corrupt. And it's something that you can use as a human shield. Fearing for the juvenile safety, tactical units moved in. Authorities say less lethal force was deployed to subdue Florence, allowing officers to enter the room and remove the child safely. Neither the juvenile nor the responding officers were seriously injured during the encounter. Okay, so it went from no one was injured to no one was seriously injured. Excuse me. Florence was taken into custody at the scene and transported to the Brevard County Jail where she's being held without bond. Why are they... You know what? I don't think this is equality. All of these fucking child predator guys get bond. Yeah, it's crazy high bond, but guess what? These women don't get bond just because they're abusing their child and doing meth? What? Mother knows best. So mother knows meth. Come on. Mother knows meth. Mother knows best. Mother knows what to do with her child and a bulletproof vest. Come on now. I think everyone's overreacting. I think she should be held at a bond of like $500. Let her out for the $50, which is the 10%. And I think that we should rehab. Enough of the glass. Brevard County, we got a meth problem, baby. Holy shit. People are shooting meth into their dicks. They're smoking meth. Have you seen their teeth? By the way, I do want to say something. I talk a lot of shit, but try to be nice to these people. I mean, not all of them are meth addicts on the side of the road, just a majority of it. Actually, you know what? What's funny enough, all of these meth addicts seem to be people who are paying some kind of bill. Isn't this what I talked about that we needed? How are you going to pay for your meth if you do not have a job to pay for the meth? Okay, and this woman's job was raising this child so she can take the food stamps to go and sell the food stamps to pay for the meth. Come on now, it's a fucking cycle. We have to keep the cycle going, and if we don't stop helping to pay poor single mothers who are addicted to meth for having a child, how are they going to have enough meth to function and take care of the child? What are you going to put them in a methadone clinic? Come on now. This isn't right. This isn't Brevard County. This isn't salt of the earth shit. faces, yeah, they already listed offered charges. Investigators reported finding a white powdery substance in the room that field tested for positive for methamphetamine. Good meth, white meth, not cloudy meth. Officials noted that Florence may have been experiencing a mental health crisis, potentially exacerbated by drug use. Really? It's almost like fucking meth makes you go crazy. Smoke enough of that shit and you're gonna be having visions for at least a week. Not from my own experience, but I can tell you one thing. You look at enough drug addicts and when they're starting to like look up and around and you see the like scratches and all the face marks and all the this and the that and you catch on to some of the stuff. You catch on to some of it. You ever talk to a meth head? Holy fuck. I talk a lot, but those fuckers can talk. Let me tell you what. I thought I talked a lot. And then I talked to a meth head. And I drove around in silence for 30 minutes afterwards because he used all of the extra words that I was going to use. It's like that one scene in Family Guy where Mayor Adam West is like, I'll get rid of you pesky A's one day. But he took more than just the A's. He took like sentences. I lost out on 30 minutes of conversation with my girlfriend because a meth head took all my sentences. Word for word. True shit. Experts say methamphetamine can trigger severe agitation, paranoia, and even psychosis. Really? Conditions that rapidly intensify volatile situations and complicate law enforcement response. Really? The juvenile was removed from the hotel and is now in a safe environment, receiving appropriate care and the amount of methamphetamines it takes to wear off. I'm just kidding. They weren't giving the child methamphetamines. But we don't know if the mother was or wasn't giving methamphetamines. You know what? If you're a good mother, you share your methamphetamines with your child. If you're a good parent, you share your drugs with your children because that is what God would want. That is what the Christian Lord intended, is for you to share your methamphetamines with the public. Yes, Lord. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Yeah, baby. Good Christian values. Shootout erupts between barricaded woman officers in Palm Bay neighbor. Oh, wait, hold on. What? We have 2 Palm Bay incidents? Wait, hold on. What? Yeah, we have 2? This is crazy. This is crazy. How do we have 2 shootouts in Palm Bay? 2 shootouts. Here, hold on. I gotta confirm. This really is 2. Wow, I wouldn't have... Wait, no. Son of a bitch. God damn it. Cocksucker. It's going over the same goddamn shooting that happened earlier. You know what? That bitch is allegedly, potentially dead. Fuck it. Let 'em die, let 'em die. Let 'em shrivel up and die. Because you know what? Sometimes we just can't handle all the meth heads around here. We just can't. There's too many of them. We have too many meth heads. What are we going to do? We're going to care about all of them? Are you kidding me? Every other week I'm reading about a hit and run in Cocoa. I'm reading about a shooting here in Titus. Also, by the way, there's a lot of cop activity going along here in Titusville. The other day I just saw like 8 cars pulling to fucking Lowe's as we were passing by. And if any of y'all have any news on that, feel free to comment below. Titusville and Brevard have been getting active, but you know what? Good Christians do what they do best in the hard times. They fight through in the name of Jesus. They keep pushing forward. They keep pushing forward. Because you know what? If we don't try and we don't go out of our way to become the salt pillars of the community, what will we become? What will this world look like? You know, every day I look around me and I see good, faithful people. I drive throughout Brevard and I see honest, caring people. Even these 2 women, they're being misrepresented by these crimes. Yeah, they got into shootouts with the SWAT team, but like, I think they're being misrepresented by this. One of them was a mother. Clearly she did enough well. She did well enough to be able to spread her legs and actually give birth to something and keep it alive long enough to get into a shootout with it. That's a good mother. She was able to keep her child alive long enough to see her gacked out on meth and get into a shootout with SWAT. That's going to do great on a college essay. Are you kidding me? What adversity do you feel you've overcome in your life and why we should accept you into Harvard? My mother smoked glass and got into a shootout with Brevard County Sheriff when I was 7. Is that really it? I'm black. You're in! Or you're native. I gotta say, they accept natives, Chinese, really all ahead of the others. Because they want the money. They want the money. They want the money. That was a bad joke. That was a horrible joke. But good pillars of the community. Good salt of the earth. Good. Everywhere we go. I can drive 20 minutes up this road and see nothing but goodness. Coco Man, 25, charged with beating woman, shooting man, and break-in. That's beautiful. That's Christian behavior. It's like I said. If you're going to be an actor and you're going to go out of your way, maybe, just maybe, this guy is trying to be the new Heath Ledger. And the only way to do that is to shoot people and beat bitches. And pop a lot of pills. And maybe die. A 25-year-old Coco Man suspected of beating a woman and shooting her acquaintance after breaking into the home earlier in March remains jailed. Brighton Dane Hurd of Rockledge was charged with aggravated battery with a firearm, burglary with assault or battery, and attempted first-degree murder after Brevard County sheriffs took him into custody Thursday, March 19th. He's being held at the Brevard County Jail Complex without bond, jail records show. Okay, so equality. He doesn't get bond either. The shooting incident happened March 10th at a home in the 2000 block of the Amalfi Drive, and Coco police reported. Why are they allowed to give out everyone's addresses? I really am genuinely, can we give out cop addresses? If I come on here and give out the addresses of all of these cops that are in these fucking investigations, will I get in trouble? Or I'm genuinely curious, and I hope one of you fuckers at home watches this and can answer, because every single week we're reading about these issues in Coco and Rockledge and here in Titusville, Mims, and they're giving us the addresses that these things occur. And I understand that it's part of police report and that they release these police reports to the public, but you're giving out these people's addresses. You're not just giving them out to people individually. You're making these public record for everyone and their brother to be able to have access to. Is that legal? Are you legally allowed to do that? And if so, am I allowed to come on here and are other podcasters allowed to come on here and give out the addresses of all of the police officers in these reports? Because if so, I would love a list of them so that way I can give them out on the next podcast. I think that would be fantastic because, if I can do that, I can start giving out a few of these around here actually. Guys, it's not that hard to figure out where your officers live because guess what? You're our neighbors. You're our neighbors. This isn't a threat. This isn't really anything. This is just me trying to ask something to prove a point. Because every single week, there's this disparagement between police officer and community member and how you guys are the good guys and everyone else is the bad guys. So, I don't know. If you have nothing to hide, why are you hiding your address and giving out the other people's? It's just a curious thought. Equality, right? Or is it one of those things where what's good for thee is not good for me? Or what's good for me is not good for thee type of situations. I just got to remind all of you, every one of you at home who is a U.S. citizen, fuck you, everyone else. I'm sorry, I'm speaking to my own countrymen right now. All of you cops, you're our neighbors. All of you racists, you're our neighbors. All of you firemen, you're our neighbors. All of you politicians, you're our neighbors. And none of you are that hard to find your address ever because, any citizen on this God-given earth can find out anything about anybody. So my thing is, to all of you who write these articles, especially, and actually you news journalists, you guys are our neighbors too. All of you who go out of your way to give out everybody's address, especially where they were arrested, I hope you understand that you are not invisible. You are tangible. And I promise you that no part of this is any indication of anything, but I promise you that the world likes to show people for who they really are. So, all I gotta say is, make sure that you really are as good of people as you say you are. It'll catch up to you, I promise you that. Police arriving at the home found two people, a 32-year-old woman and a 33-year-old man. The woman had been struck in the head and the man shot in the lower abdomen, police reported. Both injuries were non-life-threatening, police said. The wounded man told police that he had just been released from the county jail and was staying with a woman when someone kicked in the bedroom door. Police said Hurd struck the woman in the head and knocked her down before shooting the man with a pistol. He failed at both attempts to actually do anything. I think that's even crazier. He whacked this bitch in the head with a brick and he shot the nigga and he can't even fucking end it. This motherfucker's retarded. Half brain dead hoe. Goddamn right. The man told the police he heard Hurd say, "I told you I would kill him," before pistol whipping him, court records show. Pistol whip that hoe. Whip that nigga's ass. Fuck yeah, biatch. Bing, 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 bing. Pimpan that shit. Hurd then left the home, police reported. The woman identified the shooter as a convenience store worker she had been in a relationship with in the past, reports show. Hurd appeared before Brevard County Judge Kelly Ingram Friday, March 20th, and was appointed a public defender. Yeah, public defender, because you're in Cocoa. None of these motherfuckers are able to afford an actual lawyer. They're good salt of the earth people, don't get me wrong, but they can't afford any real lawyers. You know what I mean? It's good people don't always get the benefits of the love of the earth, but they do get the benefits of the love of the Lord. The meek shall inherit the earth. So all of my poor brothers and sisters, white, red, black, yellow, orange, brown, purple, all of you, just know the Lord loves you. Not only does the Lord love you, but ICE loves you. ICE loves you so much that they are helping you get back to wherever it is you are from. Not only are they arresting 5-year-olds, but they are helping ensure that they get back to the countries that they are not even from, but maybe from. Yes, Lord. Which airports have ICE officers been sent to? And here's what to know. Officers with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement have been cited at airports across America after President Donald Trump called for their deployment over the weekend. This just started Monday. We record here on Thursday. This was 3 days ago. That's fucking insane. ICE officers have reported to more than a dozen U.S. airports this week to assist Transportation Security Administration agents with extreme crowds amid a partial government shutdown. Gee, I wonder what the issue could have been here. What started all of this? The move to send in ICE officers aims to strengthen TSA operations, help keep our skies safe, and reduce disruptions for the traveling public. Well, it sounds more like you're getting a lock on people going in and out of this country, or even just traveling in their own country to begin with, and you want to have as many soldiers on the floor as you can. But that's just me. Department of Homeland Security Acting Assistant Security Lauren Biss said in an email statement today, whatever. But some travelers have questioned the purpose of the armed officers stationed at the airports as long as lines persist despite their presence. ICE officers are not trained to operate x-ray machines among other TSA operations. No, they're trained to fucking shoot people who they think are terrorists. And what's even funnier is Florida, not only did DeSantis say we should privatize the TSA, which I think is absolutely retarded. Yes, let's make it all private fucking enterprise so that way there can be another billionaire or few that make money off of the fucking security systems at the airports, and then they're going to be in control of the entire thing. So if they strike or have issues with it, now we're back at nobody's getting paid all over again. Yay! But that's not the point. There was a bill that I think they're trying to pass that states that Florida can deem what a terrorist group is and who a terrorist group is. They can set the precedent for a lot of this. So if you identify with any of these few things, you may just be considered a terrorist. And they'll take advantage of that without hesitation, just like they did in the early 2000s after 9/11. You seem like a terrorist. Why do you have that head wrap on? Why are you doing this? Why do you have brown skin? Why do you speak a different language? Why are you from the sand countries? Why are you from fucking Tatooine? Why do you speak Jawanese? We became a little paranoid, to say the least. To say the least. I can't remember what happened on 9/11, but I know something happened. Was that Independence Day? Was it... Was it the day Jeffrey Epstein was found? Was it... we'll get to that eventually. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a 9/11 unveiling one of these days. Maybe for 9/11 we'll do a 9/11 episode. I mean, it's coming up quick. Time flies by. Here's where presence of ICE officers have been reported so far this week. Chicago O'Hare International Airport, Cleveland Hopkins International Airport, Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, Houston's William P. Hobby Airport, New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport, New York's LaGuardia Airport, Louis Armstrong New Orleans International Airport, Puerto Rico's Luis Munoz Marin International Airport. Really, a Spanish fucking sounding one. Newark Liberty International Airport, Philadelphia International Airport, Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, Pittsburgh International Airport, and Southwest Florida International Airport. Pretty soon they'll be in Orlando. Pretty soon they'll be in... Did they even do Atlanta? Yeah, they did. Okay. LA? One. Oh, wait, no, New York. No LA. No Orlando. There's a few of them they left off of here. But just beware, and y'all be safe, because they're going out of their ways just to get people as much as they can. I promise you, this will not end well. It is going to be a short-term thing, but it's going to be a problematic short-term thing. And I understand Trump said that he's going to start paying the TSA workers again. What does he say? Trump says he'll order DHS to start paying TSA officers as shutdown drags on. Well, good, because people need to fucking get places. You know, you're halting up a lot of business in this country. You're halting up a lot of, what do you say? You're halting billions of dollars in fucking travel that these people are trying to use. Like, towns like mine are depending on people visiting this town. Do I wish there were a lot less people visit? I actually wish there were less people living here. I don't mind the visitors. I want less people living here. I want to build a wall around here so less people move in, not so they visit less. Because it's like... At the end of the day, we need tourist money. We need tourism money. But I don't want any of you as my neighbors. I don't want anyone from California as my neighbor. I hate people from Georgia. Texas people are the most... they're pretentious assholes. And they are fucking absolutely retarded at best. But whatever. I don't know. Only good things will come of this. Maybe. Hopefully. Maybe I'm wrong on all of this and only good things will come. You can't shut down travel and expect people to be content with anything. And those lines were getting to be 7 hours long, so I do hope that they pay them a fair amount and actually get the workers back in. Because, you know, I'd like to start flying soon, and I'm tired of seeing these fucking plane crashes on the runway, and I'm tired of seeing all of these workers, how do you say this? Bitch and moan and whine and complain. For the love of God, Donnie, just pay the people. Pay them well. Pay them well, and we can all go about our business. I know it's difficult to shell out some money for your own citizens when you're paying for another country's war, Israel, but you should, what is it? Generosity starts at home. Charity starts at home. And I think that's something you should take into account because, well, we don't need ICE agents shooting our pilots because they think the pilot is an immigrant. Do you know how sad that would be? Let's say that Martin walks into the airport and Martin is a pilot 30 years Martin has been a pilot. But Ice one day says, "Hey, you, beanie boy, where the fuck are you going?" And Martin says, "I'm the pilot. I fly the plane." And they arrest Martin. What does that do? You now stop even more travel. Because ICE is not fit to identify anyone anymore. They're shooting white people. They're shooting Spanish people. They're shooting black people. Well, they've been shooting black people and Spanish people, but they're shooting more of them. It's not ideal. They're arresting their kids now, too. Less ideal. Even far less ideal. I don't know. Next thing you know, we're going to be sending ICE into other countries and stuff like that. Maybe they'll become the new ground troops. It's not about being a U.S. Marine. It's about being ICE, baby. They're trying to dig their fingers right in your ice hole at the TSA. One finger, two finger, meh, right in the ice hole, baby. Ice, ice, baby. Dun, 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 shh. Dun, 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 shh. Ice, ice. Siblings indicted after explosive found at MacDill Air Force Base. Wow. Passions are explosive lately. The federal indictment unsealed Thursday accused Alan and Anne Mary Zheng, they sound Chinese, of crimes related to a device found at the Air Force Base. Wow. You know, if you spread your troops thin enough, you can't defend your home base, Donnie. Maybe get your agents out of the fucking, out of the TSA and put them on the Air Force bases, because you have foreign peoples planting bombs on your fucking Air Force bases. Do you know how bad that is? The fact that they were even able to plant the bomb to begin with is absolutely insane. We have spread ourselves so thin that we are now liable to terrorist attacks from other countries. And we've not only kidnapped a world leader, which we're going to get to, actually. We're going to touch on Maduro again today because we haven't talked about that in weeks. And he's actually in court. He's in court now. Finally, no one's talking about that. We went and assassinated a cartel leader, and we don't even know if all of our U.S. citizens made it back from their travels over there. And people are still trying to travel to Mexico in spite of the fact that there is basically a civil war going on in Mexico as well. And we dropped troops in Colombia, in case any of you forgot. We are everywhere, baby. We are doing it all. We got troops in we're sending troops to Iran because fucking Bibi thinks we should. And I think that's beautiful. We're putting troops in Iran. We've got people in Mexico, well, on the border of Mexico, because we can't fucking allow these new Jalisco cartel members to come in here and just start kidnapping Americans, which is a fucking thing that is liable to happen, by the way. We got ICE at the airport. We like to keep our reach, and we like to keep our, our hands in everybody's cookie jars. We like to keep our fingers in their little ice holes and just dig out what we can. You know, there's a lot you can learn to dig out. That's maybe what Jeff and Donnie were doing in their free time with the kids. They were learning to dig stuff out. Now they're doing it to us. This is what I mean. They took advantage of the innocence of a child. They corrupted it, and now they're doing it to us. Everywhere you look, we're spread out. We're spread out and we're spread open, and our little ice holes are ready to just get and fisted into by somebody else. I need you guys to understand this, because this is what other countries want to do to us. Because this is what we want to do to other countries. They want to go, grip them ass cheeks, spread that shit open, whew, jam their fists together and go bing, bing, ming, 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 ming. And they're going to do that to us if we keep spreading ourselves open. Because you can spread one ass cheek open. You'll still have a little protection. You can spread the other ass cheek open. You'll still have a little protection. But when you spread your whole ass open with both of your hands and leave your asshole vulnerable, you get a bomb in your fucking Air Force base. An indictment unsealed Thursday accuses Alan Zhang, 20, of attempting to damage government property and making and possessing an improvised explosive device. He is accused of planting the device at MacDill's Visitor Center. 20 years old? Ah, damn, a kid. A kid. He's not a kid, but a kid. A separate indictment accuses Anne Mary Zhang, 27, of evidence tampering and being an accessory after the fact in Alan Zhang's case. Man, you're the older one and you couldn't even take charge of this shit? You know what? No. Chinese people, it's the man runs the shit. That's the truth of it. He probably hit her with that bing, 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 bing. Chinese niggas got that strong backhand. That is generational backhand. Have you ever watched a motherfucker out of Asia backhand his woman? God damn, son. They do not hold back with that shit. Bitch, this chicken is cold. That's a Boondock reference in case none of y'all got that shit. Bitch, this chicken is cold. The two share an address in Land O'Lakes, U.S. They live in butter? Come on, guys, you're butter than this. Attorney Gregory Kehoe said in a news conference Thursday afternoon that they are brother and sister. Well, thank you. Not all Zhangs are the same. You know what's crazy? You can know who you're dialing, but if you don't get the number exactly in a Chinese phone book, you're going to dial the wrong number. Alan Zhang is yet to be arrested. He is believed to be in China, Kehoe said. He and his sister were said to have fled there in the days after the device was planted at MacDill. Both are American citizens. Then why did they flee to China? Interesting choice of fucking words you're using there. They're U.S. citizens. What does this sound like? It sounds like they're sending people here to the U.S. to become citizens, maybe a couple generations in, so that way the plans don't look so obvious. Oh, we're an immigrant family. You're just going to judge an immigrant family? And then the fucking generational descendants of the immigrant family happen to be from a country that once is dead, and then they plant a bomb in your Air Force base because you went and sprayed it open for them. China and the U.S. do not have an extradition treaty, but the countries can still negotiate the return of suspects on a case-by-case basis. Yes, I think that this is a terrorist act at the fullest level, and we need to indict these cocksuckers without hesitation. Stop bullshitting around the bush and indict these chinks. God damn it, man. Motherfucker. Get these rice pickers over here, you sorry sons of bitches. We're exploring every avenue we have to get them back to the United States. Clearly not strong enough. Clearly not. They planted a bomb in your Air Force base. That is cause for war. They own land in your country. They own land in your major cities. They own fucking complexes in all your major cities. They own marijuana farms here in the United States. They have what? Why? They fled to China, and China is okay. So if they're U.S. citizens, why would China not be willing to just send them the fuck back to the U.S. for no reason whatsoever? Huh? If they're actually U.S. citizens and they did something illegal here, why would they not just send them back? China is all about that shit. If somebody over there was fucking up, goddamn right, the Chinese government and embassy would be over here within 24 hours trying to get their own fucking citizens back. Because China doesn't play about that shit because, you know what? They own their citizens. The U.S. is trying to own their citizens, but clearly not well enough. Kehoe, the top federal prosecutor for the region that includes Tampa, offered new details about the investigation. Alan Zhang said he planted the explosive device at MacDill the night of March 10th, but despite searches of the base, it was not discovered until 6 days later. He made a 911 call after placing the device, Kehoe said. So, 6 days for you guys to find an explosive device. That is ineptitude, retardation, and a lack of any kind of fucking awareness of your own base. You allowed a 20-year-old that was not even a fucking Air Force he was not in the military. From what I'm gathering, he is not even in the U.S. Air Force, and he was able to get on the base to plant an explosive device. I'm not saying that, you guys are idiots. I'm saying you're retarded as fuck. Excuse me. I'm not a military strategist, and I'm a fucking college dropout. I am a college dropout from Titusville that sold flowers for a while. And I know better than to go and spread my troops across not just my country, but across the globe, so that way I can't even defend my own base. What? Oh my fucking god, man! Talk about right in the planted a bomb right in the ice hole, right in the ice hole. Investigators were later able to identify the phone Alan Zhang used to make the call. He said holy shit. He said, which they determined was bought at Best Buy store before the crime. Videos from the store showed him making the purchase. Thank you, Best Buy. Shout out Best Buy. Anne Mary Zhang helped sell her brother's 2010 black Mercedes-Benz on CarMax in the days after he used the car to bring the device to the air base, Kehoe said. Thereafter, the siblings bought airline tickets and traveled to China, but Mary Zhang later returned. She helped the defendant flee and destroy the evidence. I'm astounded. I'm actually astounded. So no one noticed him sneak onto the base. No one noticed him plant the bomb. Isn't there monitoring systems for people who are like getting certain items in a certain amount of time? How was he able to create an explosive device without anybody picking up on any of his purchases in recent times? I understand there's a million ways around it, but this is all sounding a little fucking... Wow, this is dumb. Is our military actually this retarded? And I need you guys who are military people at home to answer this, because this is wow. My taxes pay your shit. I support y'all. I've defended y'all's budget for years. Maybe not the entire budget, but at least enough to make sure my troops are fed, they're housed well, they have good clothing, all that shit. Fuck yeah. Support all that shit. But goddamn, man, are y'all so fucking blind, retarded, and inept at what you do you can't notice somebody sneak into your house and plant a bomb? Holy shit, man. The FBI, holy fuck. She was arrested Wednesday and has a preliminary court hearing Thursday. She was ordered to remain jailed pending what's known as a Nebia hearing, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office, a court procedure designed to determine whether the defendant's assets for bail come from the legitimate sources. No bail. You placed a fucking explosive device on a military base. That's terrorism. And as a fucking U.S. citizen, that's, what do you call it? What do you call it when you betray your country? It's treason. This is treason, terrorism, and attempted murder at every fucking level, and she's still gonna stand trial just for her, bail ass? Are you actually fucking with me? Are you actually fucking with me? Our U.S. troops were in a position where they could have been blown up, and we are considering assets for... The FBI later found the car. Kehoe said it had been cleaned before being sold, but the investigators discovered traces of explosives in it. They also searched Zhang's home and found bomb-making components inside, Kehoe said. Both Mary Ann Zhang and her mother told investigators that Alan Zhang admitted to the family members that he'd made the explosive device, planted at MacDill, so everybody knew. Planted at MacDill, Kehoe said. Their mother, who was not identified, was detained at an immigration-related matter, but has not been charged with a crime. So ICE is detaining her for whatever reason. ICE is detaining her because just ICE can detain whoever they want now because they can do whatever, bro. Fuck yeah, bro. ICE can arrest whoever they want under suspicion, even if they haven't committed a crime. That's fucking genius. Holy fucking shit. Kehoe said investigators were not sure why the device did not detonate, but he said it had been the potential to be very deadly. So, the charges come 2 days after Tampa Bay editor received anonymous video about the explosive device. The 3-minute, 14-second video shows a person in silhouette speaking. Yeah. Okay, the bomb, the speaker acknowledged. We have a newly improvised design that we plan to use in the upcoming days, the speaker said, claiming to be part of the political group against the U.S. war in Iran and the Department of Homeland Security. The Times turned over the video to the FBI. I don't understand how Iran has anything to... This is an anti-Iran Chinese group based out of the U.S.? So this is Chinese... U.S. American citizens fighting for Iran. Kehoe said he was familiar with I'm just astounded. I think that more than anything, this shows that we are not only spread far too thin, but we have zero fucking idea what we're doing with anything nowadays. I think we are showing our ineptitude, and all of you can come at me left, right, and center. I really don't care. But this is a prime example of showing the true idiocy and hollow-headed nature of our own troops and citizens as we know them. I just am astounded. I'm so astounded. This is why we're trying to this is why a whole group of people wants us to allow immigrants into this country. This is why a whole group of... What the fuck just happened? Sorry about that, everybody. Apparently, the fucking CIA and FBI and ICE can't stand me talking shit about them, so we had some more technical difficulties. Akin to what we've had before when I start having these rants about what piece of fucking dog shit workers we have for the government and our troops. Whatever. Bunch of sorry cuckolds. Bastards. Bastard beach. Bastard beach. See, this is... We can't even just go and kill our fucking political opponents anymore. We have to bring them into this country and make them stand trial. We have to bring everybody into this fucking country just so we can deport them. That's the fucking craziest thing. U.S. judge questions block on Maduro's use of Venezuelan funds for defense. Okay, so we're going to kidnap them, bring them in, so that way we can charge them to deport them so they can't come back in when they didn't come in. That's what I'm gathering from this. Okay, whatever, dude. Hi, Maduro. Welcome back, brother. New York, March 26, Reuters. Hey, yes, this is Reuters. A U.S. judge questioned on Thursday the U.S. government's justification for blocking ousted Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro from using the South American country's funds to pay for his legal defense against the U.S. drug trafficking charges, but said he would not dismiss the case against him on that basis. Maduro and his wife Celia Flores wore beige prison garb to the hearing on Manhattan federal court more than 2 months after the U.S. military forces captured them in a surprise raid on Caracas and ferried them to New York. I love that they had just a little fashion thing for all of the like women and gay guys. They're like, by the way, they wore beige. Beige is so in right now. Beige is like prisoner. Beige is like Dune. You know what I mean? It's like giving. It's giving Dune. It's giving Maduro. It's giving prisoner. OMG. Maduro 63 and Flores 69. God damn, she picked an older lady. But 69, the year of giving and receiving. If he's lucky, he'll be able to get and give some before they put him on the chopping block. Having pled not guilty to charges including narco-terrorism conspiracy and are jailed in Brooklyn pending trial. They have asked U.S. District Attorney Alvin Hellerstein to dismiss the charges, saying their inability to rely on the Venezuelan public funds is interfering with their right to have a lawyer of their choosing under the Sixth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. God damn, they know some shit. The lawyers have said Maduro and Flores cannot afford to pay their defense's fees on their own. Wait a minute. You were a fucking dictator of a country and you don't have a bank account set up? Dude, come on. This is the thing. I want to remind all you U.S. citizens, most of these fucking people don't actually own anything. All of their everything is in very intangible things like crypto, or they're in very tangible things like land that they can't just immediately sell. They're retarded. Or they're this guy and just have been using public funds to pay for everything. Everything is a tax write-off. Everything is a business expense. You know what? Let them use the public funds. Fuck it. I say that they should. And if you know what? If they start a GoFundMe, Maduro, you got $100 from me. Prosecutor Kyle Wershbaugh said the U.S. sanctions blocking the payments were based on existing national security and foreign policy interests. Hellerstein appeared skeptical of that argument, noting that the U.S. had relaxed sanctions on Venezuela since Maduro's ousting. I wonder why. Because this was all a fucking game for them. The defendant is here. Flores is here. They present no further national security threat, said Hellerstein, a judicial appointee of Democratic President Bill Clinton. You're trusting a guy. The fucking judicial appointee of Bill Clinton is here to defend Nicolas Maduro and his wife on narco-terrorism charges. Hell yeah, brother. Oh my God. Not only is George W. Bush back in office while we're in the Middle East, but they're bringing in somebody who worked for Bill Clinton to help Maduro. I am I am a happy man because this is all funny for me. All of you are going to get butthurt or upset, or somebody's going to get butthurt or upset, and a lot of people are going to cry about this stuff. There's a lot of people who are crying about this stuff. But my fucking God, I can't express to you how funny this is to me. Holy shit. Bill Clinton's... This is... Wow. Everyone in that circle is dirty. Everyone in that circle has their dick in something they shouldn't. Whether it's in a horse, whether it's in a hooker, whether it's in a 7-year-old, whether it's in another dude's butt that they're hiding behind closed doors because they have a wife and daughter they're trying to make sure that nobody finds out about. This is... Everyone in that circle. Are you kidding me? Bill got his dick sucked by everything that walked within a 5-foot radius of him. The right that's implicated paramount over other right is the right to constitutional counsel. Yes, they can get a public attorney. Jesus fucking Christ. Polak, who represented WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, has said he wants to withdraw from the case if Hellerstein doesn't dismiss the charges and the Venezuelan government cannot pay his fees. It was unclear how much Polak is charging Maduro for his services. A lot. Polak did not respond to a request for comment. Earlier on Thursday, U.S. President Donald Trump told reporters that additional cases would be brought against Maduro without offering details. They're just trying to hit him with everything. They're going to keep him in jail for like 2 years before they even start to like begin the real trial and everything like that, because they're still looking for lawyers for this shit. He's gonna... Holy fuck, man. They're just trying to make examples of people just to show you that they can at this point. Maduro was transported from the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn to the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan early on Thursday. Outside the courthouse, police separated dozens of Maduro opponents, on one holding an effigy of Maduro in an orange jumpsuit from dozens of pro-Maduro demonstrators holding signs reading, "Free President Maduro." Maduro and his wife say that under Venezuelan law and custom, the government pays the expenses of the president and first lady. Yeah, but why is that? Whatever. Prosecutors argue that because the U.S. has not recognized Maduro as Venezuela's legitimate president since 2019, he and Flores should not expect the U.S. government to allow Venezuela to pay their legal fees. God damn, they're whipping out technicalities on these motherfuckers. Actually, you're not the legal leader of this place, so why should you get any of the money? And that's a fair argument. I'm not going to argue otherwise. This guy was allegedly a dictator of his country. Whatever. The point is... the prosecutors say Maduro and Flores can be assigned public defenders if they cannot afford their own lawyer. One of two things is going to happen. They're going to find a really good team, and Venezuela's actually going to, they're going to allow Venezuela to pay for the shit. That's one route. That is one route. Another route is they're going to force public defenders on them with no fucking whatever. They're going to expedite this shit and throw him under the bus as quick as possible before anybody here in the U.S. realizes that we kidnapped a foreign leader, threw him in our jail, and are going to let them die in there. That is fucking hilarious. They're going to whip this shit so fast under the fucking rug that all of you will have whiplash and be like, wait a minute. We're still bombing Iran. Maduro's going to jail. Maduro's been in jail. Maduro's staying in jail. Holy shit. Wait a minute. Holy fuck. Didn't we just kill a fucking cartel leader? And we've got troops in fucking, in Colombia? You guys are all going to start having panic attacks, and I'm going to be sitting here on my podcast laughing my ass off. Narco-terrorism law has had limited trial success. That doesn't bode well for us at any level. And no way is this going to end well, by the way. We look like assholes who kidnapped a grown man and his wife, or we look like guys who can invade other countries, no matter the yes, sometimes there's precedent. But there's no way that we pull out of any of these wars, any of these countries, any of these assassinations and kidnappings and look like the good guy, ever. I've said this, and I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it, but this is just crazy. Maduro faces 4 felony charges, including narco-terrorism conspiracy, which criminalizes drug trafficking to help finance activities the United States considered terrorism. You mean like bombing an Air Force base? The statute has rarely been tested at trial, and 2 of our 4 trial convictions have been overturned over issues stemming from witness credibility. A Reuters analysis of court records found. So they're 50-50. You got a coin flip in hell that you're going to send this man to jail. A coin flip in hell you're going to send this man to jail, and you're considering letting the Chinese people go for bombing your... Okay, so I need this to be understood. Allegedly, Maduro has been trafficking drugs into this country for years. Allegedly. We have 2 U.S. citizens who committed treason and terrorism, and we can't even guarantee that one of them is going to face trial. During his first term in the White House, Trump ramped up sanctions on Venezuela over allegations that Maduro's government was corrupt and undermining democratic institutions. The irony. Yeah. Holy fuck, man. Washington called Maduro's 2018 re-election fraudulent. What do you care? What do you care? Oh my God, man. Maduro dismissed those accusations along with allegations of his participation in drug trafficking as pretextual justifications for what he called the U.S. desire to seize control of South American OPEC nation's vast oil reserves. So it's like Saddam Hussein. It's just like, I need this to be clear to all of you at home. It's just like Saddam Hussein. He wanted to control how his oil reserves were managed and control who he sold it to. And at the same time, they want to control their oil reserves. They happen to be trafficking drugs. This time, cocaine and fentanyl. Last time, heroin. Doesn't this sound familiar? We're doing a sequel. Holy shit, man. It's like things just keep repeating themselves. It's like Groundhog Day. It's like that, what is it? There's a Tom Cruise movie where he just keeps dying again and again. Whatever. The point is, you guys get to say, Happy Death Day. There's a good example. It just keeps repeating itself, and it will drive you crazy, crazy, crazy. Holy fuck. I like don't... Over the nation's vast oil reserves. I want that to be clear. We went into Venezuela for oil so we could fund the war in the Middle East. That is why we went in there. That is the only reason we went in there. We were coerced to go into Venezuela so that way we could send all of that oil to the bombings in Iran and other countries in the Middle East. This is my claim and accusation. I'm not even going to hold back with this one. I believe that this was all a planned intervention for us to be able to keep some of the U.S. citizens happy because we got just enough oil to shut them up while we go challenge arguably an even larger oil supply in the Middle East for dominance. I need this to be clear that we went and invaded another country for their oil to go and take another country's oil. Do you have any clue how fucking psychotic that is? I'm just, wow. You know what? Maduro, I hope you get a fair trial. I hope that they don't just, rape you in the ice hole. I hope that they don't just stick their grubby little fingers directly in your ice hole. I mean, I just gotta say one thing. We're gonna go back not even 2 decades. During the Obama administration, we had cyber attacks by North Korea. During the Trump administration, it was school shooters every other day and the immigration issue. During the Biden administration, it's the war in Ukraine and immigration issue. It's just a little funny seeing how it all is progressing. You have to have one war per term. I think that's one of their mandates is you have to have one war per term. Whoever you are, as a president of the United States, you are mandated to have like one country that you're going to war with. I don't know whatever it is, just say it's every single war. We still haven't even fully pulled our own citizens out of countries that we're invading. We're spread too thin. We're getting bombed by our own citizens. We have We're worried about Iranian terrorists and sleeper cells. We're worried about Chinese sleeper cells and terrorism, which is something that has proven itself. We're worried about the Mossad having agents controlling our own national politicians. We're worried about the CIA spying on their own U.S. citizens left, right, and center. We are sending ICE to the airports. We are sending troops to Colombia and Mexico. We had sent ICE troops to Minneapolis, which are still allegedly there. We might be spread a little thin, Donnie. I'm no fucking military expert. But I do notice patterns, and I think that we're spreading ourselves. I think we're making ourselves far too vulnerable. And just like I said, there was going to be 10 terrorist attacks here in the state of Florida. I said that it was primarily going to be Spanish stuff so they could bring ICE in. And what have they done? They've started sending ICE agents down here more and more. And now we've had the Cuba incident. We've had the Tampa bombing, or the almost bombing. And we've had the fires all across Florida since the winter. So we've got 3 major ones that I can think of just off the top of my head, not including any of these other shootings, not including anything else that is occurring here, because I talked about 3 shootings that have happened in the last 10 days just in a 30-minute radius of here. I don't know. Maybe World War III is coming. What do I know? You know, I told you guys something big was coming. I told you something big is coming. The Lord said to me, Tyler, something is coming. You need to let the people know that. I don't know what the fuck is coming, but I can tell you it's going to be big. It may be World War III. It may be the AI god. It may be God itself. It may be the devil. It may be the Thruple Bunnies being famous. It may be me being able to have my own actual talk show instead of a podcast one day. Who knows? Something big is coming. Something big is coming. And maybe we're 13 going on World War III. You know what I mean? Maybe our 13-year-olds should be... You know, they raised the actual fucking limit for what is it? For inscription for the military. So they raised the legal limit from 35 to 42. I think they should go lower and lower the age from 18 to 13. So that way we can start allowing 13-year-olds on the battleground. I think if we gave 13-year-olds guns, they would stop threatening to shoot up their schools and their neighborhoods, and they'd start going and taking care of these enemies that we hate so much. Hamas was using baby shields. Come on now. Why can't we use baby soldiers? 13 going on 30, baby. They were 13 going on 30. That's how we got to look at this. I guess 13 going on 42, but seriously. And that's why today's movie is 13 going on 30. In honor of this being the 13th episode, in honor of us trying to start World War III and give things a little bit of the old jump start, in honor of the Lord, who was 30 years old allegedly when they killed him, or 33 or something like that. 13 going on 30. And actually, funny enough, the last time we hear from Jesus, he was like a preteen or teenager that went into the church and was like, hey, rabbis, you fucking retarded. And then we don't hear from him for like 20 years, and now all of a sudden he's 13 going on 33. So maybe Jesus was the original 13 going on 30. Ladies at home, consider this. Jesus was the original 13 going on 30. And that's why I'm dressed like this fucking retard Phil Collins, Mark Ruffalo bullshit. I've never seen... Funny enough, I had this shirt too, so I guess I'm fucking retarded. This is the only thing I had. I don't know what else to tell you. You look better in court when you got fucking nice button-ups. And yeah, Mark Ruffalo wears this in the movie, and Phil Collins wears this performing. What is it? I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh, Lord. Yes, that's why I did this shit, because I look like fucking native Phil Collins, retarded goddamn, hey, I made the goddamn songs for Disney, and all that other bullshit. Bald head ass motherfucker. That nigga is really retarded. He looks like if you took your thumb and went, it'd go right into the center of his forehead, like, Bringo squeeze, like a hydraulic press. But enough of this Phil Collins, Mark Ruffalo roast. We've got plenty of roasting to do of Mark Ruffalo. This movie was horrible, by the way. This movie was absolutely terrible. I'm going to give you a play-by-play in my rendition of 13 Going on 30. I'm not even going to tell you any jokes about the movie. I'm just going to tell you what 13 Going on 30 is. All right. Nerdy teenage girl in school. Nerdy teenage girl gets tricked by preppy girls into doing class project to attend party with hot guy. Yeah, she was at school, she just got out of class, and these preppy girls walked up to her and were like, hey, so we want to make it to your party later, but we're not sure if we can because we have this, like, project to, like, do, and it's like, we just don't know if we can make it. And we know that the, like, hot guy that you're really into, like, wanted to come to the party, but he can't come with us because we have to work on the project because he's supposed to be there with us. Or whatever. And she's like, I'll come to your fucking project for you. Whatever, nerdy girls saying stuff like that. And then creepy young Ruffalo comes out of the fray and just starts taking pictures of her and other people. He is a fucking creep. He looks like young Jon Favreau, by the way. And Jon Favreau would have done better. Jon Favreau would have done better. Robert Downey Jr. would have done better. Jack Black would have done better. Jack Black definitely would have done better. This motherfucker... Oh my God, man. Joe Rogan would have done better in 13 Going on 30. Joe Rogan would have done better in 13 Going on 30 than Mark Ruffalo. They look the exact same in the movie. You put a side by side of them. We're going to make sure we show this to you. Side by side, Joe Rogan and young Mark Ruffalo. They look like they could be Italian retard brothers or cousins for all I care. They have the same mother, different fathers. Same mother, different father. One's a little more Sicilian than the other. Both terrible actors, by the way. Terrible actors. Whatever. Where was I at? Creepy young Ruffalo takes unwanted pictures of teenage girls. Takes pictures of them from behind as they walk away. Teenage girl stuffs bra and kisses TV with the rocker on it. The guy who's singing Jesse's Girl. You know what's crazy? That song was in fucking I referenced this movie the other day. Goddamn motherfucking Boogie Nights. Goddamn Otto Octavius. Alfred Molina was dancing around in a robe while a little Chinese boy was tossing firecrackers around the room. I wish that I had Jesse's girl. Jesse's girl. Fucking hits that shit, rips that shit. Who sings that song? Jesse's Girl. By Rick Springfield. Yeah, so she sees Rick Springfield on the TV, and then she goes, and she's a 13-year-old girl, by the way, who stuffed her bra. She took some cotton and she stuffed the bra. Girl stuff. You know what, guys? You are not the only ones who are insecure in this world. You guys are all worried about your penis size. You're all worried about stuffing to make sure you gotta fluff it up before you see the ladies. Ladies are insecure too about their titties and their ass. You ever seen a woman stuff her bra? You ever seen a woman wear shorts that try to make her ass look bigger when she has no ass? It's sad. It's just as sad as you fluffing your cock knowing it's not gonna get much bigger when you get her in the bedroom. All I'm saying. Teenage girl stuffs bra and kisses TV with, Jesse's Girl. Rick Springfield. God damn, I gotta remember that. Okay. Yes, she kisses TV. And then the parents walk in and POV her. Her parents walk in and POV her while she's stuffing her bra. And then, they walk in and POV her while she's kissing the rocker, Bruce Springsteen. Jesse Springfield. Oh my fucking God, I'm gonna need to keep his name up because what is it? Rick Springfield. I'm writing this because I know I'm going to forget it already the second I click out of this. Rick Springfield. Ring Sprick 9. Wow, what the fuck happened there? Seizure? Stroke? Rick Springfield! God damn it, the icon. So iconic, I don't even know him. So the parents storm in and POV her while she's stuffing her bra and making out with Rick Springfield on the TV. She used a little bit of tongue. It was inappropriate. Her mother walked in and sat down with her on the bed and was like, so I saw you stuff your bra. We made your dad leave. I just want you to know you got beautiful titties. You don't have to stuff your bra. I don't know why they got a New York accent. I really, really don't know how that just happened, but well, sweetheart, you're beautiful. They really all just came New York. Well, sweetheart, you're beautiful. You don't need to stuff your bra. Your father and I think that you have a beautiful body just the way it is. That's why we POV'd you instead of actually knocking on the door. So, we just want to let you know, your body is beautiful. That's why we tried to walk in and record you. We didn't know if you were going to be naked or not, but we knew that we had a camera and we had to POV you. It was a little awkward, but you don't have to stuff the bra. And she's just like, Mom, you don't understand what it's like to be young, because you're old. Young Ruffalo walks in on her thrillering everyone and offers her a homemade bathhouse with her naked in the tub and Rick Springfield downstairs waiting for her, just as well as young Ruffalo waiting to be cucked. He sprinkles angel dust on the house. Popular girls show up and take their clothes off at the front door, leaving them in the nerdy girl's arms. I'm not describing anything inaccurate. They took off their coats. They did take off their coats. That is accurate. And I think what's crazy is I can make these inappropriate jokes, these really off-center jokes, but none of it is off-center as how real this movie is and how accurate what I'm saying is. Because this is accurate. Lore accurate. Popular girls show up, take their clothes off. Popular guy drives up and enters her front door. Yeah, he parked his car right in front and just entered. She just sat there and let him enter. Young Ruffalo is shaking his stuff, then the popular girl changes the music. He calls her a square. Bitch square. 7 minutes in heaven leads to a stolen project and nerdy girl trapped in the closet waiting for young Ruffalo to help her out of the closet. Sometimes some people need help out of the closet. Tom Cruise, we love you, brother. Just come out of the closet. Another. To help her out of the closet, Ruffalo enters the closet and she says she didn't know he'd come. She wasn't sure he was gonna come. She didn't want Ruffalo. She flips out and wishes that she was 30 and huffs the angel dust. She wakes up, she's 30, not knowing what's up. She has naked blonde dude there ready to give her the business, but she's 30 in a 13-year-old's mind, and it doesn't matter if she's a 30-year-old. She just slept with the guy last night. She's 13 in her mind now, and therefore he's a pedophile. So it doesn't matter that she is a 30-year-old woman who slept with the guy last night. The 13-year-old mind is now in the 30-year-old body, so therefore anyone who likes her is a pedophile. But her only recourse for love is to go for younger people at that point if she's 13 years old. Either that or she's got to accept this weird dynamic where she is just 13 having sex with all these adults. That's a strange thing to have. So it's either she's a pedophile or he's a pedophile. Or they're all pedophiles, and maybe even the studio producers were pedophiles. Well, allegedly. Allegedly. Okay. So he's a pedophile. She runs downstairs to be kidnapped by a skinny white woman for business. She's trans-ageist. That's her thing. She keeps trying to convince everyone that she's 13 in a 30-year-old body. I heard some old guy trying to do that once, and Chris Hansen arrested him. You know, I do have to say something. There is no such thing as trans-ageist. There is no justification for sleeping with a minor. There is no such thing as trans-ageist. There is no... You know what? If there's going to be anything, let there be a group like NAMBLA in South Park. National American Man-Boy Love Association. Let them be one group and let's all stand against them. Yes? Because apparently, this movie just embraces their culture. I am against 13 going on 30 because it sets the precedent in the idea that, well, this young lady, she's so mature for her age. She's so mature at 13 years old. 13 is basically a child. Don't you know that 13 is literally just a little child? Just kidding, 13 is an adult. 13 is a mature grown woman. 13 is a nice fine lady, a nice ripe wine. 13, she's practically 30. You kidding me? Look at her. She has no tits. Every 30-year-old woman I've ever met has no tits. She's basically 30. Did you ever watch Lolita? 13 going on 30, the little nymphit. Yes, let me finger the bunny, because the bunny is 13 going on 32. I'm gonna fuck the little pony, Batman. No, Joker, no, don't fuck the little pony. She's trans-ageist, tries to convince her friend she's trans-ageist. Her friend just goes, okay. She fails to convince her friend that she is a kid and an adult, now they're all pedophiles. In a meeting, she works for Poise. She works for Poise, sorry, or Poise. She leaves the meeting to go find adult Ruffalo. He's weird and looks like young Rogan. I can't explain this enough. Young Ruffalo and young Roganuffalo. The young Roganuffalo is exactly accurate. Joe Rogan should have done this role. That's true. Ruffalo walks her down memory lane. He leaves her after she invites him to a party. She gets iconic dress. My girlfriend once wore that dress. That is true. She did wear that dress. We went and saw Meg the Stallion, that bitch who was hopping around on one foot after she got shot. She looked beautiful, by the way. That ass was fucking foot. Not to brag or nothing. She's 13. She tells the 13-year-old that she's 13, but she's 30. So she tells the 13-year-old that she's 13 years old too, even though she's actually 30. This is the Ghislaine method. This has been tried and true for generations. She invites the 13-year-old over to explore her mini bags and folds. Excuse me. So the 13-year-old is now invited by this old pedophile woman to go and explore her bags, to rummage through her stuff. She asks the 13-year-old to inspect her ass for underwear after talking about her boobs. This is real. This is not a joke. This is actually what happened in the scene. By the way, asking a 13-year-old to inspect your ass is just wrong, unless you're apparently in Japan. Or like Saudi Arabia? I don't know. There's like 3 countries that do this shit. Everyone else has the modesty of saying at least 14. So she talks about her tits. She goes to the party. Party fails. She brings it to life by thrillering all over the place. She just, yeah. Oh, my neck. It's a thriller, thriller. Ruffalo leaves because he's insecure. Joe Rogan would have been better. Jon Favreau would have been better. She goes to a restaurant with a friend. She hits on a 13-year-old instead of the man. She's a pedophile. She did hit on a 13-year-old, and I mean that. She was sitting at the bar, and then her friend's like, I think that boy thinks you're cute. And then she turns around and she's like, really? And she's like, yeah, you should go talk to him. And then she walks past the adult who her friend thought she was making eye contact with, and she talks to a 13-year-old sitting at the table by himself, and she's like, so I think you're cute. And he's like, so you want to go out sometime? I gotta say this. Why was I not molested? Why was I not good enough to get hit on by a 30-year-old at 13? Was I not hot enough? Were there not enough 13-year-olds trapped in 30-year-old bodies? Also, whose parents just leave you out alone at a table like that long? I bet you the parents were fucking in the back. They're no better. They're gonna sell their kid. They're gonna go and sell their kid for fucking money so that way they can go and pay for meth. They're gonna go and sell their kid for meth money. She hits on a 13-year-old. She's a pedophile. She runs into Ruffalo. Awkward. She goes back with her boyfriend who strips to Ice Ice Baby. Ironically, Ice Ice Baby. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Shh. Her boyfriend is Prince Charming from Shrek 2. She hears her friend plotting, goes to her parents and finger blasts herself in her old bed. She actually sleeps, I think. I'm not sure. I kind of started spacing out during this part of the movie. The notes just really start getting bad because this movie really is just so bad. It's about... If you ever hear an adult say that they're just a teenager or just a this trapped in an adult's body or a this trapped in a person's body, run them over. That is why we have the Disney epidemic, where we have these mentally deficient fat retard bitches who are like, I just want to relive my childhood. Oh my God, I love going to Disney so much because it gives me the same feeling I did when I was 6 years old. And it's like, I know I'm 36 or 46 now and I'm not a kid anymore, but like I get to relive my childhood instead of actually being an adult and comprehending what's going on in the world around me. It's so great to disassociate at Disney World. Disney, where disassociation is for the family, baby. Okay. She reinvents her Fashion Week presentation. She hires Ruffalo for the photo. She demands his tongue. They swing together. They fall off the swing and roll into each other's arms. Now they swing and show each other's tongues inside each other's tongues. Oh wait, hold up. Rolls onto each other's arms. He climbs up on her. He kisses her. He must be the nicest guy. By the way, ladies, any of you who listen, every guy who's trying to get in your pants is the nicest guy ever. I want you to... Your husband, of course, is the nicest guy ever because he is trying to get your pussy still. There is no husband on this planet who is not the nicest guy ever in their woman's eyes. Do you know why? Because he wants to fuck you. Just say. Nicest guy, hold on. He's a really nice guy, even though he's engaged during all of this. She's having a slumber party with teenagers, Ghislaine style. They have a dance party. Ruffalo ignores his bride for the nerdy girl. Her friend proposes the idea, fails. She proposes her idea, succeeds, but it turns out she was the spy all along. She was selling secrets to the other fashion magazine. Oh my God, yes, this movie, everything, I'm giving you the exact play-by-play. There is no jokes, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. This is the movie. This is the movie. Holy shit. Lucy steals idea and presents to the competing companies. She runs to Ruffalo during his wedding day. What a complete bitch. She gets her life screwed over and she runs to ruin a man's wedding. Yes, good job, women. This is a great romance movie for you. I think you should all try and live up to this at some point. Fuck me. Runs across the city and shit. Tries to ruin his wedding. He held her bathhouse. She goes outside and snorts more angel dust off the bathhouse and is 13 again. Then she flips off her young bitchy popular friend who doesn't actually become her friend, then marries Mark Ruffalo and they have a pink house. This movie sucked. I'm pretty sure it was drugs the whole time. I'm fairly certain this movie was literally just an angel trip. This was an angel dust trip and I can't stress that to you enough. The entirety of the film was about this fucking extremely horribly selfish little bitch who's going out of her way just to ensure she gets what she wants no matter how much she screws anyone over at the end of the day. 13 going on 30, baby. This is why we should send our troops into the military at 13, because basically they're adults who want to ruin everyone's lives already. We have so many school shooters. Do you want to let them grow up to come here in Brevard and start shooting people up at the ripe old age of 36 and do meth? Do you want to let them grow up long enough to do meth, or do you think we should send them to Iran to die? Should we send our 13-year-olds overseas to die, or should we allow them to grow up and do meth? These are your options, US. These are your options. You can allow your citizens to die as teenagers and die a blissful war death. A blissful war. Yes, to allow your 13-year-old to die a blissful war death, or to grow up and become a meth head. This is all your options are. Your options are die, young men, your options are die as a teenager or grow up and become a drug addict. The choice is up to you. And the Lord loves you no matter what. The Lord loves you. The Thruple Bunnies love you. I love you. We love you. And good Lord, we will see y'all next Saturday. Have a beautiful day. Praise Jesus and goodbye, babies.